Hi, it's Josh and Lindsey, and today we're going to talk about ways to improve the value of your house. This might be if you're going to know you're going to sell the house in the next few months or maybe a year, and there's also the category of, hey, I just want a better house to live in. I want different floors, I want something different, and I want to increase the value, and I might sell someday and I might not. So we get a lot of people who decide to sell their house, and then they're like, oh, I've done these improvements, I wish I would stay in it. So kind of to improve it before they move.
Yeah, so many people get their house, they do all the things they need to do to get their house ready to sell, and then they're like, well, now I don't want to move anymore. It's great. So things you can do if you're in that position and things you can do if you're ready to sell.
So the first thing you do to improve the value of your house and maybe even enjoy it while you're still living in it is to improve the curb appeal. This might include landscaping, like putting in native plants are always a good thing. Do people usually prefer to have native plants when they're shopping for homes?
It depends on the buyer. I think there's a lot of people that like that and like to know that they won't have to spend a lot of time watering and a lot of care on the plants. But then there's other people who just want, whatever looks beautiful and exotic, even if it's not native at all. So it kind of depends, but I think native is always a safe choice.
And as our temperatures continue to climb here in Texas, it seems like putting native plants in might be a good move just as far as conserving water, because water is becoming an issue all over Central Texas.
For sure, yeah. The other thing you can do is put in landscaping beds. So if you don't have that already, trimming out around your sidewalks and around the front of the house with an actual trimmed out, whether it's with bricks or just some kind of, actual border on the bed, really makes it look more put together and more manicured. And then you can fill that either with river stones or mulch, and then those native plants too.
Is there any advice you have for someone says I want some color? Because sometimes native plants people look at and they just see the cacti and the green shrubs. Do you have any suggestions if someone's like, I need to add a little bit of color into my landscaping? What would you recommend?
I mean, knockout roses are easy and good, and they're hot pink.
Are they native? I have no idea.
Yeah. Or you can do Esperanza, which is the yellow, bright yellow, tall plants you see everywhere in the spring. I think those are my two favorite colorful ones. But
yeah, start with your landscape. So also under the category of curb appeal is to address your front door. So it might be as simple as adding some paint or changing the paint color or adding new hardware.
Yeah, I feel like the front door is the smartest decision you can make when you're getting ready to sell. If your front door is really boring and you can put in something with a pop of color or something contrasting, something that looks more modern, it changes the whole look of the house. We're happy to give specific recommendations on how to fit the aesthetic that your house already has and make it pop.
And then the last thing we'll say about curb appeal is the exterior lighting of your house. So what can you do to improve the exterior lighting?
I mean, I would say if you have a builder grade home, you can replace some of your exterior light fixtures with something that really pops, something that looks bigger and heavier and more expensive and just more beautiful and not so basic. That really makes a difference. If you're getting ready to sell right away, call your realtor before you invest in something like this and be sure that what you're putting on the house actually will appeal to a broad range of buyers and not just you.
So the second major way you can improve the value of your home is to improve the flooring. The basic rule here is to put in some type of classic look, usually that's some kind of wood flooring, but there's laminate and then there's engineered hardwood and then hardwood floors. So depending on your situation might help determine what type of flooring you put in.
Yeah, I agree. I think you want to make sure that the level of flooring you put in jives with your neighborhood and that you don't overinvest so that your house is, way improved beyond your neighbors, because you probably won't get that money back. So we're happy to weigh in if you're making a decision like that on what level might be smart for your neighborhood. Things to think about with that though are if you're getting ready to sell right away, then maybe you go with something trendy. As far as the tone and the color of the wood or wood look flooring you're getting. If you're not going to sell right now, you want to go for something that looks super timeless and classic, which usually means more of a medium neutral tone and nothing too orangey, nothing too bluish. A few years ago, everybody was putting in gray wood and now it's out. So you have to be careful with that, even with things that look like wood, that you don't put in something that's going to be out of style by the time you get ready to sell.
And don't put hardwood floors in when you're going to move 10 years later and you have dogs with long nails.
So true. The next big thing you can do if you want to improve your home's value is to update your cabinets in your kitchen. That can be done a few different ways. You can pull the cabinet front off and replace the whole front of it with something that looks more modern, or you can just paint the whole cabinet. But you have to check on what your cabinets are made out of, because if they're not actual wood, it's really hard to sand and paint a cabinet.
We've learned this the hard way, where we tried to sand, it was a table.
Yeah.
And we found out it wasn't made out of wood, and it was very, very frustrating. So if you know how to refurbish something that looks like wood but it's not made out of wood, let us know, because we had some trouble with that.
But if you do have true wood cabinets, you can just sand them and stain them, or sand them and paint them and give them a little facelift, and then add hardware to that. It's a little safer to go with trendy hardware regardless of when you plan to sell, because that's pretty easy to swap out. But the tone and color, what would you say about color?
Well, usually sticking with white is pretty classic.
Yeah, I agree.
But are all white kitchens, are they out now?
People are starting to say all white is out, but I really don't think that is reflective of the cabinet itself, because you can look back at every decade and see white cabinets and the house looks beautiful. I think what people are saying is out is like white cabinets with white countertops and white subway tile and white everything. So I think if you're gonna do white and you want it to be more classic and timeless, you want to soften that look just a little bit.
So basic rule, if you're gonna improve your kitchen, turn the cabinets to either white or like a neutral wood color.
Yeah, I think whites and creams are safe. And then, yeah, woods, and wood again, like our personal kitchen cabinets are a little orangey. So they look dated. We need to work on that. But so you want, again, just like with the flooring, you want to do something that's neutral in tone. That's not too orangey, not too gray, but something kind of in between, timeless, classic. And we're happy to advise on that as well.
And the last thing you can do to improve the value of your house right now, or if you're going to list it in the future, is the exterior, the backyard.
Yeah, outdoor living is huge in the Austin area, because most of the time you can be out there without it being terrible. Of course, I was going to say short period of time. It's getting longer. The period of time it's deathly hot.
Well, I think to improve the value of your home, you just put up those big fans that blow snow all over you. So when it is 110 degrees, you just sit outside and have snow blowing on
it's really
you all the time.
Too.
I guess we don't really see that many houses with that, but it would probably help the value of your house these days.
But in all seriousness, outdoor living is good. So if you don't have anything out back and you can put in a nice flagstone patio or a big deck or even just a concrete patio with a pergola over it, any place that offers another sort of living space that you can put outdoor furniture on, maybe add some music and some lighting, that will definitely add value, whether it means value for your family while you live there and also value when you get ready to sell. So definitely a safe bet.
So those are the 4 ways to add value and improve your home.
If you have any thoughts or tips or comments on anything we've said, please leave it in the comments below.
And then please like and subscribe and look for more videos.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching.